Coming up on today's episode.
But, it's really about making that difference, helping a young person through their difficult times, whatever that is. It might be 12 months, might be 2 years, might be 3 years, but it's sort of making an impact, making a commitment and helping a young person navigate, steer through their life,
Dodgy advice and bad decisions can cost you big in real estate. We're here to make sure that doesn't happen. Welcome to the No BS Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Jo Agresta, and it's time to take control of your property journey together. Welcome back, everyone, to the No BS Real Estate Podcast, your listening how-to guide to the Aussie finance and real estate market. I'm your host, Jo Agresta. Now, usually on this podcast, we talk about property, we talk about finance, buying homes, investing, and all the chaos that comes with trying to make big life decisions. But today, we're stepping outside of that world for a very special edition episode because sometimes there are causes that deserve the mic. Today, I'm joined by Mark Watt. He is the CEO of Big Brothers and Big Sisters Australia, an organisation focused on connecting young people with long-term, positive adult mentors. And the reason this conversation matters is simple. Not every young person has someone steady in their corner. Not every young person has a safe adult that they can call, lean on, talk to, and even just learn from. And sometimes that one consistent person can change the entire direction of a young person's life. Today we're going to be talking about the work that Big Brothers, Big Sisters does, why mentoring matters, and what young people are facing right now and how early support can make a real difference before things reach crisis point. We'll also talk about the bailout at Pentridge, Melbourne. I'm very excited about that. They're doing a fundraiser where people are literally getting locked up in jail at the Pentridge prison to raise money for mentoring. And yes, yours truly will be participating, which means listeners will have the chance to donate and help me get out of jail. Don't keep me in there. It's for a good cause. Bail me out. So, Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's so good to be here. Really excited.
Yeah, me too. Mark and I caught up last night. He had me on his local radio show. I'll give that a plug. So, it was a lot of fun. It was talking about the market, actually. Funnily enough, we've swapped genres today.
Well, that's right. With the budget coming down and a lot of people asking questions, a lot of people interested in home ownership or what it means for their kids and what it means for themselves. It was a big topic and it's so great to have you on the show.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's so strange being on this side of the microphone 99% of the time. So when I jump on and answer questions, I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of like what my guests go through. And it was a nice change and I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
Well, it's a community thing, what you're doing here on the radio, and you're a community person. So I know you've got a real heart for what's going on out there for everybody.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why Big Brothers, Big Sisters is a big part and why we wanted to cover this episode on the podcast. We love property here. We love talking about options and how to get in or how to, alter your situation. But today's episode was really important to me because I know that in my younger days, I was surrounded by a lot of people that probably didn't encourage my best choices, probably turned, my 20s into a bit of a shit show, if you don't mind me saying. And I just think the work that Big Brothers, Big Sisters does by getting a mentor when you can't listen to your parents is just, or don't listen to parents or maybe don't have them, is important.
I think we all can relate to the importance of having a best friend, a mentor, someone in their corner, someone giving them advice, someone there believes in them. I think belief is really important. If you haven't got anyone that believes in you, it's pretty tough.
It's really tough. And tell us about that. What made you start, Big Brothers, Big Sisters?
Well, I didn't start it, but I joined it. But I've been always a campaigner for mentoring because I know I grew up without a father. So I had no father and I was struggling and we nearly went into care and we had all sorts of issues in our own family life, no positive male role models. And so a mentor came into my life and changed my life and helped me, be here today talking to you. I wouldn't be talking today without my mentor. So he really helped get me on the right track and helped me. So I know personally the power of a mentor and I know I've seen it work. So many young people's lives being changed through mentoring and continues to be changed.
I'm sorry to hear that you grew up without a dad, but I think in a lot of ways, the way the universe worked with having a mentor brought you to exactly where you needed to be and spreading this important message or doing the work you're doing.
Well, a lot of your listeners will know people that have been impacted by domestic violence, young kids not wanting to go to school because they're socially feeling crap, mental health, whatever, means they want to stay in their room. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to socialise, bullying in the school or feeling whatever they're feeling. And then I heard yesterday that 40,000 kids in New South Wales have been suspended from school. So school actually don't want them to go. So you've got, kids impacted by domestic violence. You've got kids not wanting to go to school. You've got, loneliness is the number one issue facing young people today. You've got single mums and caregivers that are really struggling to know what to do. So mentoring is so important. We've got over 1,000 kids on our waiting list. So we've got kids crying out, I want a mentor. So it's really important.
Support.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is a lot of people, like I've got friendship groups, that come from all walks of life, like different experiences and backgrounds. And I know that in my young 20s, like early 20s, it's something that you're so influenced by the people that you surround yourself with. And sometimes when you're growing up in those kind of situations, you tend to kind of stick to the people that are in similar situations. And then that's not giving your space of influence a really positive thing. It's encouraging either worse behaviour or just, crappy things. And sometimes that's not entirely your fault. Like our brains don't fully develop, I think, till we're 25. So it's...
So many people live isolated lives. They've got no support. So you're a single mum, you've got 4 kids. You got your own challenges in your life and what's happened. Your kids are disengaging. They've got their challenges. You're feeling really alone. You've got no support. The neighbours, you don't know who they are. They're not much help anyway.
No.
And you're thinking, well, how am I going to get help? I need someone to help. Young Johnny, I just don't know what to do. I haven't got the time. I haven't got the bandwidth. I need someone to help me. I need a mentor.
And a lot of the people that come to you, are they the young kids themselves, or is it a lot of like parents or other adults that are referring?
A lot of single mums, we get on text messages through socials. I'm desperate,
Wow.
My young kid's really angry. It doesn't see his father. He abused us and I really need some help, So
Yep.
A lot of single mums, even grandparents, they say, look, we're in our 70s. We're not well. We've got no energy. We've got this young 10-year-old boy. He needs someone to spend time with him. He needs someone to kick a footy with him. We just can't do it. We really need your help.
Grandparents would be tough because they're not at that age where, for some of them, that they're active to keep up with that energy.
Well, they take on these things of looking after their grandkids because their parents can't look after them, but then physically they're struggling.
Yeah, of course.
They just haven't got the physical capacity to deal with it. So they need someone to come in that's younger that can sort of help.
And help lift them up. And how does that journey start? So if there was someone like listening going, oh, wow, I didn't even know this was a thing I could do. How do they kind of come, how can they approach this?
We have a lot of people wanting to be mentors. A lot of people want to be mentors, and then I think they find out what's involved. They think, oh, hang on, no, look, I couldn't do it. Because we do ask for a 12-month commitment.
Yep.
And it's a weekly commitment. So every week you go see your mentee, young person, and you commit to a year. You can go longer, of course, but that's the minimum. 1 year, once a week. So it's a big commitment, and you go through training. We really help you. We're there to support you. So it's not like, there's Johnny, we'll see you in a year's time. We're there step by step helping you and helping out and working out, giving you ideas what to do, how to cope with different situations. But so many of the matches work so well. It's life-changing, not only for the young person, but the mentor gets so much out of it too. It's a really good thing for them.
It would be so rewarding too. Like I know that if I had a bit more bandwidth, once I've moved a few things around in my business, this is something I'd absolutely love to do, because giving a young person you're teaching them what you probably, I guess, you've learned so much when you get a bit older, and you want to put someone on the right pathway, and you see people making, mistakes that sometimes are not their fault. It's just circumstance or, the way they've been brought up. But to put them on that right path and see them succeed would be so rewarding.
Yeah, and people ask me, what's the qualities you need to be a mentor? I mean, how do I know I'm a good mentor? Well, the main quality is actually, again, being there, like committing. Like being there every week, showing up, having that long-term commitment, believing in the young person. You don't have to be an extrovert. You don't have to, be whatever. All you have to do is actually be there every week, believe in the young person, connect with them, and, the rest just happens.
And what do you kind of start to see with the ones that are being mentored, like your mentees and the young people? What changes do you start to notice when they're getting that guidance from a consistent adult?
I think confidence is a big one. You've got a lot of kids that are lacking confidence. They're really struggling in their mental health. So if they can really start blossoming as a person with their confidence, feeling like they can start socialising, getting outside even, getting out of that bedroom, off the screens, all those sorts of things, actually knowing that there's someone out there that cares for me because my father doesn't care for me. I haven't seen him. He won't return my calls. He won't come around. I haven't seen him for years. I'm really angry about what he did with mum, and what he's done to the family. And but you're there and you're a male. Okay, that's great.
And is that that matching process, is it always that it's male to male or female to female?
Yeah, male to male, female to female. We try and get someone that lives locally,
nice,
similar interests. Some people want a young mentor. Some people want an older mentor. Some people want a mentor that does this. Some people want a mentor that does that. So there's a whole lot of stuff in the matching process. And, so we go through that process, get to know the mentor, get to know the young person, and we match.
That's amazing. I love that idea of matching to, similar interests, because it's not always about, I feel, you can have an adult that's really stable or maybe well suited, but maybe it's not going to match their vibe or their personality or their characteristics. There's not that mutual territory to start building a relationship with.
That's right. And it's not easy meeting someone you don't know. And,
no.
You're a young person, even the mentor thinks, oh, good night, how can I do this? But, it's amazing the matches we have and how they work. And, as I say, there's a great need.
Yeah.
We've got all these kids wanting a mentor. And we've got a lot of people that want to be a mentor. I would just say, just double check you can do that weekly commitment and a 12-month term,
And we'll put those details for those of you that are listening to this, thinking either that someone a young person that needs support, or alternatively you want to be a mentor and help the community in this way. We'll put those links in our show description today, so you can connect, with Mark or the Big Brothers Big Sisters team. But I guess one of the things I wanted to ask you about, Mark, is can you share a story, without obviously identifying anyone specific, that shows the impact a mentor can have on a young person?
Oh, look, there's heaps of stories out there, but just one comes to mind, a young guy called Jason, and I met him when he was 14 years of age, locked up, and 6-month sentence, and he probably thought his life was over. He was crying and thought that, this is it. My life's over at 14. And that's his. If you get locked up at 14, you're going to be locked up again. So, yeah, he was probably right that things were looking grim for him. But we matched him with a mentor that came in and seen him and connected with him and gave him that belief, that confidence, that hope, real hope. And through that long-term commitment, their relationship, their friendship grew and grew and grew. And Jason's confidence grew, and he never got locked up again. And, he grew up older, and today, he's job, married, everything's going well, and that mentor changed his life. So, there's countless stories of young kids' lives being changed through a mentor, and it's quite an amazing thing when, as a person, you've actually impacted on a young kid's life and changed their life. I mean, it's incredible to be in that book of changed lives, and that's the opportunity you've got as a mentor, to be in the book of changed lives for young people and impacting young people. And let's hope there's people who want to be in that book. But there are ways of being in the book without being a mentor, because, Big Brother, Big Sisters and other agencies that do the mentoring or helping young people need more than just the mentors. We need people that got marketing skills, that writing skills, that want to come to our events, want to get involved, want to sponsor, get their companies behind us. So there's a whole range of ways of getting involved in community groups like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, because not everyone can commit to 12 months and a weekly.
Yeah.
But you might say, look, I can't do that, but I can do this. I can actually go to your function. I can actually sponsor you. I can actually write a submission. I love doing marketing. Whatever it is, you've got other skills that help these agencies to then find people that can be mentors,
I actually love that that's an alternative route that you can do if you can't do the actual mentoring. You think, oh, what a shame, like if I had more time. But that's a fantastic way to get your companies behind it. And I know that there's a lot of our listeners that, are business owners or small business owners that would love to support something like this. Or and the story you shared, thank you for sharing it, because where I see so much importance in that story is the fact that that person's now married. They've got a stable job. Like, they thought their life was over at 14. That's pretty devastating at 14 years old to be locked up. And the statistics tell you that he will repeat offend, he will go back in, and that's just a sad statistic to be aware of. But the fact that a mentor came in and put him on that pathway of no, you'll be right. How long does that mentor kind of stay with that young person?
Well, as I said, 12 months is the minimum.
Yeah.
Some stay for years. You hear stories of people being mentored for 20 years. They've still got friendships, because it goes from being a mentor to a friend and you can become a lifelong friend. So that happens with some, not all. That happens, because we're not asking you to commit your life, for 50 years to be a mentor, but it's really about making that difference, helping a young person through their difficult times, whatever that is. It might be 12 months, might be 2 years, might be 3 years, but it's sort of making an impact, making a commitment, and helping a young person navigate, steer through their life, because it can be very challenging. And when you think we've got 1,000 kids that are screaming out for a mentor, it sort of helps you understand. Yeah, and we haven't even advertised. There's a lot of kids out there that need someone in their life, or want someone in that. It's want and need,
Yeah, which
we're not forcing people to get a mentor.
No, of
these
course.
people come to us.
And I think that's the key thing, that it's like any help that you're asking for. When you ask for it, or that's the first step in any change that you want to make. So the fact that these young kids are reaching out, or their family members are, it's that one step.
Yeah.
And the biggest step that they probably have to take. And then we just need to make sure that we have enough support out there to get these kids through those tough times, put them on the right pathway in life.
Yeah. And look, we can't mentor every young person that comes to us, but gee, if I can help that one kid, that's fantastic. And that breaks my heart that I can't help that one kid that's desperately wanting a mentor, desperately wanting someone to connect with, someone in their corner, someone that they can look up to and share things and do life with.
100%. And I think the other part that we need to kind of discuss, in Australia, I guess it still waits too long before stepping. Do you think Australia still waits too long before stepping in to help young people? If we look at the broader government or structures that exist.
Look, there's a lot of need out there. There's a lot of things going on. But, and that's why I think sometimes we, as fathers, especially, because I'm talking to the blokes a lot, because us blokes have let down our kids. There's too many young kids needing a male in their life. And that's because there's so many blokes that are giving it up. They go missing on their son, their daughter, and that's terrible. So we need to try and encourage blokes to be better parents.
Yeah.
But those that can't, yes, let's get a mentor for those kids.
100%. Look, to be candid, my biological dad wasn't around growing up, but I've got a really big support network at home. I feel like I always say I was very lucky. My mentors, or my male figures, all stepped up. My uncle, my grandfather, and I was, overparented. I had too many permission points when I wanted to do something. But it's a wonderful thing to have grown up with, and to picture what my life could have been like without those men being present and having, just me and mum. I love my mum. She's my best mate, but it would have been tough.
Yeah, the extended family is so important, but there's so many families that don't have an extended family.
Right.
So many isolated caregivers and single mums got nobody, and they're the ones that probably are in that 1,000 kids we've got on our waiting list.
And that's who we have to help, fundamentally.
For sure.
So,
and look, we've got to tell the listeners, which you told them before, that you're so committed, you're going to jail. That's a big commitment. We're going to lock you up because you're wanting to help kids, and you're going to raise money, and you're going to spend time in jail. And if your listeners don't help you get out, you're going to be there.
That's the thing. And then he's not going to let me out. I'll just be there forever.
That's right.
You guys better help.
So you've got to raise over $1,000 to get out. So it's not a big ask, but you do need friends that are going to help you, give you $50, $20, $100 to get out of jail. But knowing that money is going to help give a young person a mentor, which actually could prevent young kids from getting locked up themselves.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about next, is the bailout. It's a fantastic fundraiser that you've done, a great concept, and I'm so excited to be part of raising funds for such a good cause, but also having this platform and this channel to spread that message and get everyone involved while we're during the lockup. So tell us a little bit about how that event's going to run. If someone wants to actually participate and be locked up, or if they want to just donate,
Jo, you're sounding like you don't want to be lonely in the cell. You want someone to join you in the cell, keep you company.
I'm trying to nominate my producer here.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I think it's great to, a shared experience is a great experience course. And I think, maybe you do need someone with you in the cells. And it's going to be on the 19th of June. We're going to Pentridge Prison H Division, and you'll be locked up there. And you'll be experiencing what it's like to be locked up. It's a life-changing experience because you will be hearing from other people that have been locked up and their lives being changed. So we're focusing on changed lives through the experience, but you will lose your freedom, for 4 hours. You will be told what to do, but you will be hearing stories. So it's a great experience, a unique experience, and it's all for helping young people get a mentor. So we, out of this event on the 19th of June at Pentridge Prison, we want to mentor more young people. So if you're interested in joining Jo in the cells, the good news is we do have some vacancies. Ooh. So get on the Big Brothers Big Sisters website, look for the bailout and register today.
100%. And I encourage you guys to do that. And we're going to be, promoting this on our socials a fair bit and, in our email comms. So there's an opportunity for you, whether you want to participate, be locked up with me, and I'll talk your ear off for probably a few hours. But alternatively, I'd love your support. And I know that it's just so needed. This is exactly why I wanted to have Mark here today to talk about it, because, like I said, I know so many people that could have benefited from this. Had I probably been aware of it, in my early 20s, I know so many people that, yeah.
So it's a great thing you're doing, Jo. You're giving up your time. You're giving yourself a frontier type experience that you don't really know what's going to happen for you in jail. So you're doing that all for helping get more young people mentored. So we can mentor another young person because you're being locked up. How good's that we're going to get these kids' lives being changed because you're prepared to lock yourself up in Pentridge Prison on the 19th of June to do this.
100%.
Let's hope you get out.
I hope I get out,
yeah.
And I hope I get out double the time. Like if I raise more than 1,000, that's my personal target. Is I want to get as much bail.
There might be people that are going to offer me money to keep you in longer.
I think you're going to get some side deals from some of our probably our past guests that go, no, keep her in there, just raise the bar, put it up to 1,500, put it up to 20,000. don't let her out. But I'll accept a challenge. I'll find a way. But, I won't prison break it. I'm committed. And I love the concept of experiencing something like that so many people have to go through, and it's their reality. And I know some people myself that have been in these positions. They have gone to jail. They've gone through, a lot of hell, and they've come out on the other side and they've managed to, lead a normal life post being locked up. But, I can only imagine. So a fraction of, not even a fraction, it's like a 100th of what they would experience for 4 hours is nothing for us, but for a good cause, it's everything.
Well, the bailout, we just want to raise the awareness of the needs of young people. And, it's about young people, but it's also these single mums. I really feel for them.
Yeah.
They really need the community to help them, because it's a village that raises a child, not just a poor single mum that, is doing so well. But, gee, why don't we help and give this young person a mentor, a male mentor or a female mentor for the girl or the boy?
I think with girls, there's a lot of friendships and, battles in that young age. There's a lot of friendship problems and a lot of, bullying that happens. And it's the same with young boys, but girls in particular tend to really band together in that negativity, and having a mentor to kind of pull, a young woman out and say, you can lead a better life. You can do this differently. You don't have to follow the crowd or feel that peer pressure to do what your mates are saying to do. And I think that's why it's another important thing. All the single dads out there too, I'm sure you come across some single dads raising daughters.
Yep, that's right. Yep,
and don't know how to connect or don't know how to.
That's right. And foster care parents, a lot of people, people out there fostering kids, looking after kids, or carers, extended family, aunties and uncles. So, there's a lot of people out there that need the support. And look, we all know it's not just about needing support. We all know we need friends. We need people in our lives. So that's what a mentor is, having a friend, having a mentor in life. We've all got them. So these kids that need them as well.
You just need to have a chat with someone. I think that makes the biggest difference, is just being able to chat sometimes about a problem that you might be having.
And knowing that you're there next week as well and the week after.
It's very different to your kids helplines or support lines, where you might not always talk to the same person. You might talk to someone different, or there's not always that resource. But then, like you said, a week after that they're going to see them again consistently. That's a consistent role model that they've built a relationship with. And I love hearing that these relationships are going on far beyond 1 year. It's not like okay, cool, I did my year, see you later. It's I've built a relationship with this young person, and it's blossomed into years of friendship.
It's a great opportunity. And mentors, they come back and they say, gee, I'm just so glad I did it. It was such a great experience for me too. So, and also people involved in supporting the charity, you're part of making a difference in the community.
Exactly. Well, one of the important questions I ask is someone is probably listening to this thinking, oh, I'd like it, but I don't know if I'm good enough, or I don't know if I'm a good enough mentor, or maybe I'm not established enough. What kind of quantifies as someone who could mentor?
Well, I suppose firstly you got to think about whether you've got the time for the commitment.
Yep.
Once you tick that box, then you think, okay, well, let's do the training, let's try, because you don't just have to be a mentor tomorrow. You go through interviews, training, support. So you get supported all the way. And I think it's really about having the commitment and being there consistent for a young person.
100%. And that consistency, it's like if you know that you can show up, that's what matters
and
most.
then trust the process. You know, we're going to get to know you. You're going to get to know the young person. We're going to match you with someone that's got your interests, that sort of wants someone like you. I mean, we've got a lot of kids to choose from.
Yeah, and that's a great thing. But I think that you mentioned in our earlier chats that there is a need for more mentors. Like there's kids
in some
out there.
areas we desperately need mentors, especially, you know, in the Melton area, different areas. It's on our website. You just go there and you'll see where we're looking for mentors, you know. And if we're not, you know, we do have mentors on our waiting list, or there's other ways of getting involved, you know.
As you mentioned.
Yeah.
No,
Join you in the cells on the 19th of June at Pentridge Prison.
I think that's a great one, honestly, because if you know that you've got a big network behind you, you know, if you're one of our listeners who has a big friendship group or, you know, a good support network at home, and you think, oh, I could raise $1,000, you know, being locked, I can give 4 hours, 5 hours of my time, and I know that my network will bail me out, you'd be a great candidate to raise funds for a good cause, you know, because every dollar makes a difference in this process. It's never, oh, but I don't know anyone that has, you know, $50. $10. Just donate. It'll get there.
You'd be surprised. It does happen, you know, especially with social media and emails and whatnot. You know, you do get people supporting you.
No, and that's why I love having a platform like this. You know, I'm so thankful and grateful every day, but there's about 1,800 of you that tune in monthly, which I can't believe, all from organic, you know, ways you guys have come to us from different parts of the world, different parts of Australia, and tune in every week. And when we do special episodes like this, you know, it's really important that you get involved and support, like we have done in the past with different charities. But this one in particular means a lot to me just because I know so many people, young people that could really benefit.
And I'll just let you know where we're operating from. Big Brothers Big Sisters operates from Melbourne, Ballarat, up at Tumut, a place called Tumut, Wangaratta, Sydney, and we've just opened up in Perth. So if you live in any of those around those areas,
mentors.
That's that's where we need you. So Tumut, Wangaratta, Ballarat, Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that it's actually spreading further. Are you planning to push further Queensland?
Yeah, as things open up. We've had a few people from Queensland want us up there. We just got to find someone that's going to help us fund it up there because, you know, we can get mentors up there. We're just needing to find a few dollars. So,
you know, I honestly think a lot of the previous guests we've had on this show would be fantastic mentors. They're people that would just be really well suited. That's another one that we'll do a call out to. I'm going to look at Karina and say, I think we have a few hundred people there that we can reach out to that would be fantastic for supporting a young person because they've really done a lot for themselves. So no, it's unbelievable. I love talking about this. I think this is a great cause. You know, Mark, thank you for sharing your story. I want to say that because, you know, your background and your passion for it really comes through. And I think the fact that you're doing this work with Big Brothers Big Sisters will make a big difference. And the fact that you're opening up more spaces and spots just speaks for itself.
I appreciate your community heart. You've got a real community heart for people. The show's all about people. Yeah. And so I just feel really privileged to be on it.
Oh, I appreciate that. No, and we'll have you back multiple times. I've got an idea, and I think we talked about this, but at the bailout, I actually want to we're sitting here in the podcast.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? And interview some of these prisoners, you know.
Correct, yeah.
Find out what they've done to get in jail, locked up jail, you know. And
I know what mine is. It's talking about too much real estate.
And if they're worried they haven't raised their bail or, you know, but it'd be great to have the van there.
Yeah, I think some inspirational stories from the night, you know, hearing about what people are doing, why they're doing it, and hearing their stories is always so impactful. So if Mark's open to it, we're going to bring the van down.
We're planning on locking up 70 people on the 19th of June at Pentridge Prison.
It's going to be busy.
And we're asking you to be one of those 70.
Be one of the 70. If I can get someone to be one of the 70, I will be the happiest person. You're going to hear from me a fair bit. But I do it with the best intentions.
Yeah.
This is for a fantastic cause. And like I said, to have the van down there interviewing people.
Well, you look like a gang leader to me. I think you'd like a little gang in jail. The Jo gang, hey?
Oh, no.
Jo's own personal gang in jail.
Is it because I'm Italian? Is it because the mafia's associated?
There you go. So Jo's gang. All right. If you want to join Jo's gang on the 19th of June at Pentridge Prison, sign up.
Oh, look, our producer's given a thumbs up. I think he's keen. I'm top dog, mate. That's it. Mark, thank you so much for sharing and for coming on the show today. I think, like I said, I'm very excited for Bailout. I think we're going to be down there with our crew and our van, and I'm going to get locked up, so I'm not going to be hosting in the van. It'll be a free-for-all. But we're going to do a lot of interviewing before and after and just make it an experience, make it something really moving. And I appreciate, all your time. And, is there anything else that you want to say to our listeners while you've got the mic?
I just want to thank you again for your heart for people and for being here today. And look, if you're thinking about helping young people, you want to make a difference, then get into contact with myself, Mark Watt. I'm on LinkedIn, on the Big Brother Big Sisters website. Even if you don't want to be a mentor, but you think, I just want to help in some way, give us a connection, connect with us, and we'll work out how you can help.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mark. And thank you to our listeners for listening to this special episode, but also just being consistent and tuning in to everything that we share on this platform and all of the details for Bailout, for mentoring and just supporting young people, even if you just want to donate straight away, if you just feel like that's the first thing you want to do. All the links will be on screen and in our show notes below, and get in touch with Mark, have a chat. He's such an easygoing guy, such a nice bloke. He's got a big heart, and same to you, big heart, big community, and you can't do this if you don't have that stuff. So,
okay, gang leader, thank you for having us, hey, and looking forward to seeing you and your gang on the 19th.
I can't wait. Thank you, Mark, and thank you everyone for tuning in. This is the No BS Real Estate Podcast. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or YouTube, we really thank you for your support. We'll catch you next time on the show. I'm Jo Agresta. Bye for now. That's a wrap for this episode of the No BS Real Estate Podcast, powered by Abodi AI. If you found this conversation helpful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who might need it. If you're looking for more guidance on your home buying journey, you can visit www.abodi.com.au for expert advice, property insights, and the tools you need to find the right home with confidence. If you're already on your journey, you can also download our app. Just search Abodi AI on the App Store or Google Play. Have any questions or want to connect, you can follow us on Instagram at abodi.com.au or send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.